Tonight on JoyNews Prime, MAKOLA fire still raging several hours after it started. It is meanwhile emerging the MAKOLA fire station serving the central business district has been out of service for a while now and so could not promptly respond to the fire. These are live visuals and we'll be taking you back to the ground. Health officials race against time to stop further spread of the more transmissible COVID-19 variant after it was detected among students and teachers of Achimota School. Ghana Immigration Service begins inquiry into JoyNews expose revealing some immigration officers demand as little as 5 cedis to allow illegal entry into Ghana despite closure of the country's land borders.
If we watch what you have, and yes, it shows or depicts officers of the Ghana Immigration Service misconducting themselves in such a manner as you are describing, I believe the appropriate sanctions will be meted out.
In business, Ghana Union of Traders Association urges Accra Metropolitan Assembly to, as a matter of urgency, levy market traders for insurance coverage for their worst following the MAKOLA market fire.
Suggested in the past that we should find a way that we should include insurance levies in the premises fees that we pay to ADJEI.
My name is Israel. JoyNews Prime is coming to you live from our Founder studios at Kokomlemle here in Accra on your digital terrestrial TV because we're free to air, and also on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. This is the home of independent, fearless, credible, and impactful journalism. Stay tuned in.
JoyNews Prime headline.
The Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service, Robinson Oko, has defended what many have referred to as the laxity on the part of firefighters in tackling Monday's fire outbreak in the Central Business District. The firefighters have been accused of failing to show up at the scene quickly enough, despite having a fire station within the vicinity where the fire started. The inferno is reported to have started around 9 a.m. Monday on the last floor of the 3-story building and has been burning up until now. More than 50 personnel of the Ghana Fire Service were at the scene battling to douse the raging inferno at the building located opposite the SIC Mall. Manuel Kranting reports there were near fisticuffs between some angry traders and firefighters at the scene.
Needed fire hydrants that we can rely on, like GRA, Second, Parisco, Peninsula Junction, amongst others. But unfortunately, around this time, you agree with me that the water that we drink is the same water that we use to do firefighting. So if the human beings are not getting water to drink, then how can we get water to do firefighting? So just behind me, there's a hydrant just here. But the pressure is so low that we can't depend on it. So we have to travel to second and adjoining communities to get water to do the firefighting.
So whose job is it to ensure that the fire hydrants are working properly for you?
You and I pay 1% of our water bill to take care of the hydrant. So it's a duty of water company.
So that was Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service, Ellis Robinson Oko, responding to accusations of ineptitude made by the public, and he was speaking with Maxwell Agbo. But we're going to bring you the full report of what transpired today and how the fire service has been fighting this fire, but the fire is still raging, or the firefighters are still at the scene trying to ensure that everything is completely extinguished. And we will be bringing you so these are live visuals, as you can see on your screens. The Ghana National Fire Service, personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service are still at the scene trying to ensure that the fire is completely extinguished. Right, so there on your screens you can see the building which has been burning. Now, the firefighters have managed to bring it under control, but you can see that there's still smoke coming out of the building, which means the fire has not been completely extinguished. But they're there at the scene. And we have Maxwell Agbagba, who's there on the ground. Hello, Maxwell. So we can see that the smoke's still billowing out of the building. Tell us what you can report.
Well, exactly, Israel. Some hours ago, the fire service was here on the ground and the situation of the so they still have to some extent. Israel, some hours ago, the fire service personnel here on the ground had the situation under control. They still have, to some extent, the situation under control. There's some combustible materials, which we are told is on the first floor, has reignited the fire on the corner on the last floor. That is the second floor over there. So as it stands now, what they're doing is to use the turntable ladder to try and douse the flames up there. I have the public relations officer with me, Ellis Robinson Oko, here with me. He will join me. We want to find out from him what the situation is currently. Okay, so talk to me. You're telling me right now that the place is not safe?
Yes.
Yeah.
The structure is weak. It's weak, and we don't know when it may break down. You understand me? And so even before the occupants come back, we ensure that the appropriate authority come to assess the structural integrity of the building before they come back.
Okay. Just some minutes ago, we saw visible cracks behind where we have the reignited flames. We saw cracks behind that building. So what it means is that any moment from now, this whole structure could come tumbling down?
No, I can't say that. But then there are visible weakness in the building from the way we look up there. You can see some cracks up there, and anything can happen. God knows.
Okay. So what measures is the Ghana Fire Service, Ghana National Fire Service putting in place to prevent any casualty? Now it is even dangerous for your men, because at the point we saw them entering the building, making sure that they douse the flames right from the source. Now that this is happening, is it going to be safe for them to still go in there?
Yes, as you can see, there is an operation area that we are operating, and nobody is even near the building. We are observing this from a certain meters away from the structure, and I believe it's safe to do that.
Okay. Do you have any idea how many hours do you envisage that this would come to an end? It's more than 10 hours, and I mean the fire is still raging. I don't think the fire is still raging. It's only occasional pockets of small fires that come up, but it is only because of the kind of materials that we have inside there. We have canisters of body spray, mosquito sprays, all sort of materials. Even the materials that we used to sew dress to wear, we have some over there. You see? So all of these things are reacting to the fire in their own special way. So you realize that when the canisters become hot, because it has some element of gas in it, it will explode. So that is what is happening now. And that is what is causing the explosion?
Yes. And we are standing by to we douse everything before we leave here.
There have been concerns about the fire hydrants here. Earlier when we spoke to the Member of Parliament, he told us that more than half of the 13 fire hydrants here in the Central Business District have been encroached upon by private developers.
Yes, you are right.
That must be a big problem for the Ghana National Fire Service.
It's really a big problem. Today we have to rely on the hydrants from Circle and communities around Circle, ADJEI and the rest, to be able to get water here to do the firefighting. And look at the distance involved. The fire will not be waiting for you whilst you are moving up and down. So it's a challenge.
But the first team, the first fire service personnel who got here, we were told couldn't douse the flames because they didn't have a water tender.
It's not true.
Is that the case?
From a fire scene, every tender moves to the nearest source of water to get water before they pack. And when they are even closing and handing over, they ensure that the group that is coming in ensure that there's water in the tender before they take over and leave to their various homes. So even the tenders that you see that had broken down in our stations, there's water in. We have, even the broken down ones, we have water in it. So there's no way we can go to a fire scene without water. Yeah.
But we are told that the water tender that is at the Central Business District Fire Service Station has broken down for some time now. So the personnel had to come here with fire extinguishers to extinguish the fire. When they couldn't,
yes, it has broken down. It is an emergency vehicle that works 24/7. Even human beings break down. So if an emergency vehicle works 24 hours in a day, it can easily break down. As I speak to you, it's with the mechanics, they are working on it.
But for a place very critical like the Central Business District, where you have a lot of businesses, people's investment are in here. Some of them have gone up in flames already. Don't you think it would have been good to have a standby water tender?
Come again.
Yeah, I'm saying, don't you think it would have been good to have a standby water tender here, even if, you know, what they have has broken down?
Yes. That is why a tender from a nearby station came in to assist. When a tender breaks down, there's nothing we can do unless we send it to the mechanics to work on it. You understand me? It's an emergency vehicle, and it has been working 24/7 for, who knows, 10 years, 20 years. It has broken down. We only send it for repairs. You understand me? And then rely on the ones that are available to do the work for us. That's exactly what we are doing here.
Yeah, but the argument of the traders is that, but for, you know, that tender, I mean, the situation...
I disagree, because we interviewed some people here and they are saying that the fire started somewhere around 6 something. We had the information 9:10. So that if it started around 6:30, it means that you cannot use the tender that is poured here as the basis for us not being here or whatever it is. No.
Okay. The Accra mayor is here. We'll be speaking to him shortly. But on the issue of fire hydrants, we walk through town and we see a lot of them stuffed with waste, with garbage and all of that. Some of them even do not have water. So tell us, we are told that when you came here, the pressure could not support what you wanted to do. The fire hydrant.
Yes, there's one just behind us. It's not flowing. You understand me? If it's flowing, we just couple our hoses to it and do the firefighting. But that's the situation we find ourselves in. But then, I think from this time, there's going to be more collaboration between us and the water company to see the way forward. If we can dedicate some of the hydrants in key areas, so that we can rely on them for firefighting.
Thank you very much. You are the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service, Ellis Robinson. We have the Mayor of Accra also here, MOHAMMED ADJEI. So let's talk to him. So, you're welcome to JoyNews.
Thank you.
Yeah. What briefing did you get from the fire personnel here on the ground?
Well, I've been here since 9:30, like 20 minutes immediately after the fire officers came around. We all had the alert around 9 o'clock that fire had gotten into one of the shops over here. And within 10 minutes, the National Fire Service has mobilized enough fire tenders to this location to fight the fire. From ministries, from Parliament, from Circle, from their head office, and then from the Metro office. All the fire tenders within Accra Central has been pulled to the center to fight the fire. The only challenge that they had initially from the beginning was the fact that the pressure of water within the precinct of the CBD was low. So after they finished with the discharge of water, to replenish it, they have to go to Alaju or Circle to replenish it and come back over here. That delay caused a bit of distraction in the firefighting. But overall, they have been very consistent, and at any point in time, we have not less than 5 fire tenders fighting over here. And they have been fighting since 9:30. But I have seen many fire officers who were on uniform, meaning they were just at home, and they had come here to come and support. We had the military also present here to provide some assistance.
Okay.
The police were here also to maintain security. So it had been all hands on deck in fighting this fire. The initial problem that we encountered had been worked on. In this building, as I speak to you now, my information is that it's full of inflammable materials. So you can see that as much as the fire had been contained at one place since morning, there's still fire inside. And there's nothing somebody can do about it, because you have all kinds of lotions, you have weave on and wig there, all kinds of things over there which are flammable.
Yeah. But I want to find out, you talked about low pressure for some of the fire hydrants within the metropolis. Don't you think it's a bit problematic that for a critical place like the Central Business District, it was difficult for firefighters to get, fire hydrants where they could get water readily to fight the fire?
It is, but it's not a normal thing that happens over here. We've been fighting fire here all this while. There had been fire at Katamanton a couple of months ago, fire at Odona a couple of months ago. So it is not a normal thing that happens there. There's always low pressure over here. It could be that the Ghana Water Company is doing something. I do not want to be speculative, but that is the problem which we encountered in the morning. And as I said, at least we've managed to make sure that we have a lot of fire tenders that are still fighting the fire. The main problem that we are encountering now is the inflammable materials which are here. If they are unable to contain the fire over here, the fire would have been spread into adjoining buildings over here. And I think that we should commend the Ghana Fire Service. I've seen men and women that have been working here since 9 a.m. Since 9 a.m. I've been on my feet with them. And I think that we should commend them for the work that they are doing. If there's a challenge somewhere, we'll deal with the challenge.
Finally, before you go, earlier in the day, I spoke to the Member of Parliament for Dodo, and he said that about half of the fire hydrants within Dodo have been encroached upon. You have people putting up structures, and then some of them tapping water from them and all of that. Has that come to your attention?
I don't know where you get the data from, and I do not want to be speculative. The point is that I have told you that the fire hydrants that we have over here, they had low pressure. Hence, they had to go to Circle and Alajo to fetch water and come and fight the water from the beginning. That's what I want to stick to. I don't want to be involved in very speculative points at this moment.
But the low pressure, has that always been the case, or is it just a one?
I have mentioned to you earlier that it has not been the case. It is not a normal thing that happens over here. We've been fighting fire over here all this while. Indeed, in this particular building, there's a fire hydrant here. There's a fire that when a couple of months ago we had fire issue here, we used the hydrant to fight the fire. We had issues also sometime at Katamanton. We had one also at Odona and some other areas. This is the Central Business District, and this thing happens occasionally. So we've been fighting the fire all this while. And I think that it's important for us to commend the firefighters at this moment. It is very unfair and very unfortunate for anyone to make a statement that the firefighters have been lazy on their job. It's very, very unfair, and I do not want to associate myself with such a comment. I have been here with them since 9:30, and they have been on their feet all this while, and they have managed to contain the fire. As much as you hear the news that there is fire at MAKOLA, the location where the fire is, the building in which the fire is, has been said building since morning. So you ask yourself, how come the fire has not been doused since morning?
Okay.
And we are telling you that the reason is the fact that they are inflammable materials.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you just had the Mayor of Accra, MOHAMMED ADJEI SOWAH. But what you can see right now in the background is the fire. So we are told that this particular section of the building is where they sell cosmetics. So you have combustible materials like perfume, like hair, like body spray, and all of that on that section. So that is why the fire has reignited. And we've had this experience for the past 1 hour where we had some kind of mini explosions that sent a lot of the traders here running for their lives. When that happens, you get fire personnel. Well, the explosion is still going on now. When that happens, you get fire service personnel climbing the turntable ladder and then get into the source and then try to douse the flame. They tell me that it does not look like they're going to live here this evening. They would have to stay here throughout the day to make sure that they completely douse this flame. The explosion is still happening, in the background. Earlier, we had a lot of the traders. Earlier we had a lot of the traders around here. We had a lot of the traders around, watching with bated breath watching the fire service, the firefighters as they douse the flames. But many of them couldn't stay throughout the night. They had to leave. It was their hope that the firefighters would be able to completely douse the flames before they leave here. Their concern is that if they are unable to douse the flames, it could possibly spread to other adjoining shops. And already properties running into millions of Ghana cedis have already gone up in flames, and they do not want adjoining shops to be affected. It looks like the Ghana National Fire Service has more work to do. We also have more work to do because we'd have to be here with them, Israel.
All right, thank you very much, MAKOLA, for bringing us that update there. And as you can see, we're noticing that the fire is still raging, even though the fire service says they pretty much brought it under control. You can see that still there's some flames going up out there, and the firefighters clearly have their work cut out for them. Now, moving on to other stories, health officials are racing against time to stop further spread of the deadliest variant of COVID-19 yet, after some 134 students and staff of the Achimota school tested positive for the virus. The Greater Accra Regional Health Directorate Monday met with officials and teachers of the school as part of efforts to curb the fast-spreading Delta variant. My colleague ERNEST MANU joins us via Zoom with details of the meeting. ERNEST, let's start with a meeting between the Ghana Health Service and Ghana Health Service officials and staff of the school. What did you glean from it?
Yeah, so we are learning. The authorities say that the first 3 cases were detected in the house, a boys' house on the Achimota campus. That was after the student reported of flu-like symptoms. So they were made to take the test. Then it was confirmed that they were positive for COVID-19. That's the latest variant, Delta.
Right, we seem to be having some challenges with the connection to ERNEST MANU. We'll try and establish connection with him, but certainly there are lots of questions that we'll want to get answers to. When are they going to be tested, these students? And there's talk of tracing the students back to their homes to try and find out if there are any of their relatives or family that have come into contact with them and so may have picked up the virus. Will all the students be tested? We know that some of the students are being tested. Significant number of the students have been tested, but will all the students be tested? How about the teachers, the staff as well? So we'll be trying to get ERNEST. Okay, so ERNEST is now joined on phone. So ERNEST, one of the questions we're interested in is, when are they going to be tested?
Yes, so Israel, I was explaining that the authorities say that the first 3 cases were detected in the boys' dormitory or a boys' house on the Achimota campus, and that was between the 14th and the 16th of June. And this was after, these boys showed flu-like symptoms, and so we are talking about 3 of the boys. This then prompted some action from the authorities by way of contact tracing. It then led to the overall figure we are learning now from the Ghana Health Service being 135 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Achimota school. This is the new variant we're talking about. And so we also learned in Israel that the teachers are not happy with the situation, how it's been managed so far, because they claim that they were not put in the know right from the word go. A lot of the information was relayed to them much later. They complained bitterly about it at this meeting, and many other issues related to this. But the Health Directorate has assured that measures are being taken to curb the spread of COVID-19 in the school, the new variant. And they also warned that teachers must not send students home in order so that they can contain the situation in the school. And whoever is showing symptoms will definitely be put through the process, the COVID-19 protocol.
Right, so the other question is, will all the students be tested? Do we know that?
Well, it is not clear for now, but the Ghana Health Service is saying that it's starting with those who are showing symptoms and those who are immediate contact to the 135 students who have tested positive. That we know for sure. But going forward, I believe that we'll further to find out
if a mass testing will be done for the entire student population.
All right, thank you very much, Ernest. MANU bring us details of that meeting there between the Ghana Health Service and the Achimota School Management. You're watching JoyNews Prime. Still ahead in the bulletin, Ghana Immigration Service begins inquiry into JoyNews expose, revealing some immigration officers demand as little as 5 cedis to allow illegal entry into Ghana despite closure of the country's land borders.
If we watch what you have, and yes, it shows or depicts officers of the Ghana Immigration Service misconducting themselves in such a manner as you are describing, I believe the appropriate sanctions will be meted out.
It's now time for business. I'm Charles ADJEI. The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, is urging the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to, as a matter of urgency, commence the levying of all market traders across the country to provide insurance coverage for their wares against fires and allied perils. According to the president of the association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, this has become necessary due to today's MAKOLA market fire, which revealed greater percentage of goods destroyed were uninsured. Dr. Obeng has also assured insurance companies for paying lip service to insuring traders. He spoke earlier on the marketplace.
But the insurance companies even taking the risk. Because they come and the place, when the place is so congested and all that, they don't have the appetite to insure shops like that. Especially those in open areas where shops are clustered and all that. So that's why I've even suggested in the past that we should find a way that we should include insurance levies in the premises fees that we pay to AMA. And I've suggested, and I keep on suggesting, I'm waiting for a time that it will be accepted and then rolled on. So most of these people are there and then their money is gone down the drain, just like that. So this particular one, I'm not happy because this thing keeps reoccurring and there's no solution in sight. And then one serious thing is that when it starts like this, then it keep on coming. If care is not taken, we hear from other areas also burning and all that. And we don't understand. So we should have an institutional framework that will protect us regarding the fire outbreaks in the market. And that's very important that we should do. Otherwise, we lose all our capital to fire outbreaks.
Somewhere in the first quarter, in the first half of this year, we had the issue with that of the market, the Kaneshie market. You were there and you spoke about some collaborations, that must be, made between the AMA, the Fire Service, GUTA, and even that of the National Insurance Commission. Any update on any collaboration so far?
I told you when there are issues like this, people come and talk. They'll come to your studios and talk. And then when you want to pursue it as trade union like this, it doesn't go anywhere. They will promise us modern market premises and all that. Those are talks to calm down people's nerves during the periods like that.
Next to the KEJETIA market, where traders are blaming city authorities and construction firm contractor for floods that destroyed goods. 2 days ago, 2 days of downpour last Wednesday and Thursday flooded the ground floor of the market, affecting over 500 stalls. Some trade unions at the market blame the Brazilian construction firm contractor for shoddy work done. Here's more.
KEJETIA New Market. Thursday's rains left many traders and residents devastated. Roof leakages at the new KEJETIA market was an eyesore. Some leaders of the traders blame construction firm contractor for shoddy work. Patricia Echampon is disappointed.
Contractor, idea we or yeah, medium who is a amwedano. Get us no emususa. And Tinsuana airbano. A drew baby, even baby or my cromody at the atosono. And I'm saying, a muson into no, and so at the end of that, to me, a peja. And soon I want then, a brush na pejano. Tis at the end of muson. Na emuya kasiye na nkensuo no nya kwan penetrate na menyini se nkebetimi ayeden abese ahasa.
Consultant to the multinational firm contractor, Emmanuel Danso considers the flooding to be a widespread disaster, not peculiar to KEJETIA market. He says the drainage system connecting racecourse to zoo and other areas around the market were choked. Mr. Danso cautioned traders against indiscriminate disposal of solid waste.
The mainstream that comes from zoo has a lot of contributing factor from Pampaso, Mrum, all the surroundings join zoo and then passes through KEJETIA. So I feel that major garbages that they put into the drain has been the cause of the distance. I believe we all have to look at Kumasi drainage system. That might be the cause.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the KEJETIA Petty Traders Association, Nana Prempe, has called for the re-engineering of the drainage system.
After the rain subside, if you look into the drainage system, you realize that old folks' shoes and other things, they were all dumped in the drainage system that has choked. Then also, the contractors have made us to understand that the entire Central Business District of Kumasi, the drainage system need re-engineering. So as a matter of urgency, I think they should do the re-engineering of the drainage system of the Central Business District.
He also wants authorities to relocate traders unlawfully plying their wares on pavement around the KEJETIA market.
They told us that 100 meters to the facility, 100 meters to the new KEJETIA market, no one will be allowed to sell there. But when you come around, even within the entrance of the new facility, you see squatters, you see petty traders who are not eligible to enter there, plying their trade there. So I propose to the Assembly that henceforth, people who are selling by the roadside, people who the law does not allow them to do their trading at unauthorized places, the assemblies will have the teeth to bite. If they do, I think it will be one of the major steps to reduce the refuse that majority of the people put inside the drainages.
And that'll be it for business for this segment. Sport is up next Tuesday.
Thank you for staying with us on Joy News Prime. Gary Al Smith here with the sport. And in our leading story, Black Stars captain Andre Ayew says for the national team to win the love of citizens and Ghanaians ahead of the 2022 Africa Cup of Nations, the players must work hard to earn it. Speaking on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM, the 2009 FIFA Under-20 World Cup winner said the team is on course to get this done.
We all know the reasons of all this divorce or the word that we use towards that. But I believe deep inside me that every single Ghanaian loves the Black Stars. You know, you can love your wife and be angry. You love your son, but you're angry at him. And I think that's been the relationship between the Black Stars and the supporters and the all Ghanaians. But the feeling I'm having is that they are waiting for us to give them something, you know, to give them something to spark. And I feel it's starting to come. I feel that the belief is growing. I feel we have young, talented players and older ones who make the team get attractive again. There are a lot of positives, you know, there are a lot of positives. I think the negatives now are becoming less and less on the pitch and off the pitch. We need to try and keep doing that. As the captain, I know is very important. I would wish not to be thinking about this, but just to focus on how I can get my players, you know, mentally on top for us to perform. But it's a life. I wouldn't say that it's something that we look at, because we will need the support from our nation if we want to do something. You know, we will need it. We're not, you know, we can't sit here and tell them that they have to believe that we are going to win, or they should bet that we are going to win. But that feeling that they are behind us, you know. But that is also something that we have to earn. And I think we started the right way by qualifying
for the African
Cup. Now the World Cup qualifiers are coming, and I believe that if we give them a good run of games, by the time we get to General, we're going to Cameroon, the belief and the spirit and everything around will be higher than what it is, and we can go there and really deliver for the nation.
From one national team to the other, this time to the Rugby Football Union team of Ghana. They are called the Eagles. They have arrived in Kampala, that's in Uganda, ahead of this year's Rugby Africa Cup, which is a qualifier for next year's Rugby World Cup. Joy Sports' Asari Bidiaku was at the team's final training session here in Ghana.
Exactly what happened. No, take him on.
After several months of intense preparations, the National Rugby Football Union team, the Eagles, say they are ready to make Ghana proud at this year's Rugby Africa Cup in Kampala, Uganda. Ghana go head-to-head with host nation Uganda on July 10 at the Kiadondo Rugby Grounds and take on Algeria 4 days later at the same venue. Head coach of the Eagles, Love Mokuzerera, spoke to Joy Sports shortly before their departure to Uganda.
We are going into battle, and we are prepared, and I know that Ghanaians are warriors. We have gone into different battles and we've managed to come out victors. It's not going to be easy. This is a different level, but we are expecting, and we're giving a message to those who are at home to rally behind us, to support us whilst in the house. We need everything. We need prayers. Those who go to church, those who do everything, we need to make sure that everybody is supporting the team.
Jason Jatta, a key player of the Eagles, says they are ready to lock horns with rugby giants Uganda and Algeria.
I always tell myself there's never a challenge that is impossible. Uganda is a good team, Algeria is a good team, but I also believe with the kind of brothers I have on the pitch, we are also a good team. The best thing we can do is to stick to our game plan, listen to the coaches, and then capitalize on their mistakes with every chance we get, because when two good teams meet, the only thing that can put one ahead of the other is when one makes a mistake and then the other takes advantage of it. So yes, they're both good teams, but I can equally say we are ready for them.
Team manager Salisu Abdurrahman has told Joy Sports the Eagles are motivated for the task ahead.
Our leader is always there to support in terms of financially and then medically, everything. So far so good. Everything is going on well, except this against people who have been trying to pull us here and there, but no way, we are still moving forward.
The Rugby Africa Cup serves as qualification to next year's Rugby World Cup.
You need to stand on the grass. You stand down. Okay, pump yourself up. Pump yourself up. Pump yourself up, Prince. Pump yourself up. Push, Prince. You are there. Now go up, Prince. Go up. Take it up. Hold on.
All right, time for showbiz, and NOELLA KHARYNE is here. What a surprise.
Hey there. It's been a while.
Yeah,
I missed you.
Yeah, I missed you too. Pleasant surprise. Okay.
Right, so let's do something on Stone Boy, because a few days ago he shared a picture, a flyer, which indicated that he is now a member of the Grammy recording class of 2021. And a lot of people have been wondering, okay, what does that really mean? Yeah. So basically, you know how the VGMAs have an academy? The VGMAs, the 3 music awards, have an academy. They have the public also voting, and then they have a board. Okay. It's the same with the Grammys as well. So in terms of nominations and all, the academy must vote.
More like a team of a group of professionals.
Exactly.
Who votes on the award, or who gets to win what.
Basically. But he's been sharing what exactly that also means to my colleague Ibrahim Benbako.
Every year there are selected members who join the academy, the voting academy, and I got to be one of the members of for the voting academy this year, 2021. So that's just what it is.
What does it mean?
It means I'm going to be able to add my little expertise to whatever the voices are, you know, in making decisions about at voting. You know, you can also, I can vote. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't think the Grammys is open to text messages. So they select. They select a few. Exactly. Okay. They select a few.
Is this an opening for a nomination at the Grammys? What does this mean to the band?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
But I'm just working and trying to get to the top.
Okay.
So anything that's on my way to the top, I think I'm aiming at.
Okay, so that bit about
bars.
that bit about the text messaging thing, and it's not like everybody can vote. But imagine if it was open to public voting, who do you think will win?
A Grammy?
If it was supposed to be.
Of course, Shatawale.
Why do you say why?
Because he has the numbers. I mean, the masters love him. So
the whole world. He has numbers.
Oh, but Charlie, do you have a track with Beyonce? You don't, please.
Right.
So let's talk about Hammer now. Hammer, sound engineer Hammer, who is, pushing for government to establish, performance arenas or arenas in communities to help unearth talent. And he also says that government should give, talent discovery shows or platforms some incentives because they play an integral role in the lives of or in the career of musicians.
Arena thing that I proposed. Yeah. It is the easiest thing we can come up with.
It is.
Each arena will cost us less than 500,000, Ghana cedis. This is, I'm talking about including everything and the spectator stands and everything. It's just cement.
Yeah.
With stairs, like a staircase with chairs. I was making notes here.
Yeah.
I realized that Kiddy came from MTN Hitmaker.
He did.
Sina Soul came from Vodafone Icons.
Yeah.
Edina came from Start of the Future.
Yeah.
Wiyala, Vodafone Icons. Efia,
Wiyala, Vodafone and Stars of the Future. Efia, Stars of the Future. Drew,
Frida Rhymes,
Hitmaker. Stars of the Future.
Hold on. Familia, Hitmaker. Mr. Drew, Hitmaker. Kel Songs, Hitmaker. Becca, TV3 Mentor. Kese, Mentor. Kaki, Stars of the Future. Irene Logan, Kuntakra, Tiflo. Next big thing, Strong Man, next big thing, Amrado, Solid FM, whatever. Even Sarkodie came from Duncan, his program.
Dr. Duncan.
Adum
Kasahari.
Now, this says one thing. It says that the discovery platforms are important.
Yeah.
A place where we can find these artists are important. And these arenas I'm proposing, it will dumb it down to the neighborhood level.
Yeah.
Now, people like me can trip to Alajo because they say some boy B they can't perform.
Yeah.
Hama come damn day there's some boy
watch.
B.
Yeah.
And I'll go tell me say I pass there.
Yeah.
I go pass there and I go see something.
Yeah.
And I go discover them.
Yeah.
So it is important that we dumb it down, the performance down, so that we can leave the domes to the sacks and the shutters. So say when you earn the right to be in the dome, you get to the dome. Boys can make money on the ground. I don't subscribe for the free use of the space.
Oh, but Hammer, in all fairness,
if it be very cheap.
In a way.
And if it be cheap, if they the level of
that they can afford.
They can afford. Okay. Even comedians don't have a place where they are discovered now.
Yeah.
We are stuck with about 3 of them, and they are going back and forth, and they are not even funny anymore.
Hey.
So no, I'm telling you, we need more. They're out there. We see them on Facebook. You see what I'm saying? They are too big now. Listen, when you get to a level and you are too big, you stop being funny because now you are eating. Now you are not funny anymore. You are posh.
Who are you referring to exactly?
Listen to me. You people don't go misquote me.
Who was he talking about?
Please, let's not misquote him.
Oh.
But definitely there's a D in the person's name.
A D?
A D, yeah. And it ends with a B. It starts with a D, it ends with a V. So your guess is, yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Well, I can help you.
Thank you very much, Noella,
Thanks for having me.
It's Showbiz, and up next we bring you world news. The family of a man who died at the 37 military hospital 2 years ago has sued the hospital, a doctor there, the chief of defense staff and government, 2 million cedis in damages for medical negligence. The family says the death of Solomon Asare Kuma in October 2019 was due to breach of contract and negligence by the hospital and the doctor who took care of him, Colonel Dr. Gao Apia. Brother of the deceased, Emmanuel Asare Kuma, last year told JoyNews the medical doctor postponed a planned surgery on his brother's skull on 3 different occasions. According to him, the doctor, at a point in time, split his skull open and closed it back without conducting the surgery because a drill machine was not functioning and one had to be imported from South Africa. Joseph Opoku has been following the story and joins us via Zoom with more. Hello, Joseph. So what are the claims of medical negligence as contained in the plaintiff's petition?
So the plaintiff claims that the third defendant, in this case the hospital, the 37 military hospital, and its employees were actually responsible for Solomon's care, but they failed to exercise due care when they wrongly inserted Solomon's breathing tube under his skin, thereby denying him oxygen for a considerable amount of time, and as such causing a strain on his heart and other organs, causing his death. They're also claiming that the hospital and its employees failed to notice within reasonable time that Solomon's tubes had been wrongly inserted, and that actually led to an instance of him bloating. So those are the 2 specifics in terms of how they call medical negligence for which they filed these suits at the 37 military hospital and other institutions.
The petition also alleges extortion by the doctor who treated him, Dr. Gao Apia. What exactly does it say?
To quote that part, they make the point that there was deceit and extortion through undue influence and misrepresentation by the 4 defendants in this case, Dr. Gao Apia, or both the other petitioners, which actually resulted in the family losing an amount of 36,200 Ghana cedis, while Solomon was actually at the 37 military hospital. And then they go on to say that there was an unconscionable variation of the contract between the 4 defendants, in this case, Dr. Apia and Solomon's family, and that also resulted in a situation where they lost an amount of further 36,000 cedis. So those are the specific references to extortion based on where they are making demand for the money as well in the petition that they put before the court, Israel.
Yes, and it's contained. They are also making some specific requests and some specific damages that they are demanding. What are these?
Yes, let me run you through. So the demanding amount of 2 million Ghana cedis for negligently causing the death of Solomon, as in from the hospital and the other institutions. So 2 million cedis for that. They again demanding compensation to the widow and the family members for mental distress, which eventually led to Solomon's father's death. They're asking for general damages for the breach of the contract between Solomon and the hospital. And they're also asking for the recovery of special damages for breach of contracts and negligence. And then they list the sums there, an amount of 20,000 cedis being the funeral expenses. They're also asking for 36 cedis being money collected from Solomon and his family by Dr. Gao Apia. And then they're asking for another 10,000 cedis as expenses incurred by the family during Solomon's 60-day stay at the 37 military hospital. And they're asking for another sum of $5,500 being expenses incurred when it comes to an IVC filter procedure at the National Cardiothoracic Center at Kolebu, which they say is a condition that resulted after he left the 37 that they had to pay for eventually.
All right, thank you very much, Joseph Opoku Gakpo. Moving on, the Ghana Immigration Service has begun an internal inquiry into reports some of its officers demand monies to aid illegal entry into the country. It follows the JoyNews investigation, which also showed the unapproved routes near the Aflao border used for the activity. The officers were filmed receiving various sums from the travelers on these routes to allow entry, despite President Akufo-Addo's announcement of a closure of Ghana's land borders to limit the spread of COVID-19. JoyNews' KEJETIA reports his team was not subjected to any checks when entering the country through an unapproved route. Here's his report, read to you.
As part of government's effort to limit the spread of COVID-19, President Akufo-Addo announced the closure of the country's land borders. This closure forced a lot of traders to use unapproved routes along the already porous borders. So the JoyNews investigative team went to Aflao to check how travelers and traders are able to cross the borders, which are supposed to be closed. Here at Aflao, I meet this commercial motor operator. I decide to call him Peter. He's been riding this bike in this town and carrying passengers across the border for many years. Now, with this official closure of the border, he still rides to Togo and returns with passengers every day.
Because people every day, but it's collect money for people.
How much do they collect?
10 cedis. Togo side 10 cedis. Yeah.
We Ghana side too.
Ghana side 10 cedis.
Maybe his point is just a claim. So I decided to verify. He's given me a ride from Ghana to Togo. We meet this official of the Ghana Immigration Service at one of the unapproved routes.
Where are you coming from? Togo. You are coming from Togo. I wear Ghana Togo.
He's demanding 5 Ghana cedis to allow us use the unapproved route into Ghana. We pay him and he allows the investigative team entry.
He's going to do every document for you before you leave there.
At another checkpoint on the unapproved route, this heavily built man also requests that we pay 5 Ghana cedis to allow us passage into Togo. We count at least 2 persons who are made to pay similar amounts to a man in mufti, while Togolese security officials look on. After a long negotiation with a man in his early 30s at another unapproved route, agreed to let the investigative team pass after we paid 5 Ghana cedis. After crossing into Togo, we meet a man in his late 40s. He demands the team pays 5 Ghana cedis in order to allow us entry into Togo. He rejects a 2 Ghana cedi offer on the basis that the money will depreciate when changed into CFA franc. Clearly, the borders may be closed, but some unscrupulous individuals have created an avenue for the influx of foreigners amid a raging pandemic. Kwetinate's report, JoyNews, Aplau.
Well, head of the Ghana Immigration Service Public Affairs Unit Superintendent MAKOLA says the officer's conduct has serious implications on the country's fight against COVID-19 and terrorism.
Borders of Ghana, as far as I know, and it's still landlocked. The president has not given any directives that the border should be open apart from the international airport, Kotoka International Airport. The borders are closed. And there are no fees charged at the points of entry, no. As long as one meets the requirements for entry or exit, that's when the borders were opened. Then you are free to exit the country or to enter. We don't charge fees at the points of entry or departure.
We found out that some immigration officials and middlemen have pitched camps and take fees from individuals and either allow them into Ghana or into Togo. Is this something that has come to your attention?
Yes, definitely. We work with intelligence as frontline border security agency. We work with intelligence, and this came to the fore, and the Comptroller General has given some directives to that effect to all border commanders, even including regional commanders, to ensure that they constantly monitor their officers on the ground, especially at the patrol bases, and also ensure as a means of deterrent that officers on patrol or on field operations wear their name tags, so that if anyone should misconduct himself or herself, then the members of the public can identify them by name and make an official complaint. And also, they are also to have constant engagement by visiting the officers on the grounds to interact with them, and apart from raising their morale, to also to ensure that they conduct the operations within the confines of our regulations.
We have found some officials and even middlemen who are taking advantage of the closed border, and even those who use unapproved routes and are taking monies from them to allow them entry. We were actually part of a team that experimented this. If this comes to your attention, what does the Immigration Service intend doing about it?
If we watch what you have, and yes, it shows or depicts officers of the Ghana Immigration Service misconducting themselves in such a manner as you are describing, I believe the appropriate sanctions will be meted out. Somewhere last year, yes, again, I said based on intelligence, 4 officers at the Aflaw Sector Command who misconducted themselves in the way you are describing now were immediately interdicted by the Comptroller General.
Health workers at the Pantang Hospital have refused to return to post, contrary to an agreement their leaders signed with the government. In an MOU cited by JoyNews, some leaders of the Pantang Concerned Staff Union on Friday, July 2, 2021, appended their signature to an agreement drafted by government which, among other things, promised the presence of security personnel around the hospital premises to ensure the safety of staff should they return to post on Monday, while government worked on completing the fence wall within 8 months. But staff failed to show up, insisting their leaders acted without their consent. My colleague Fosina Safo monitored fresh negotiations between government and health workers Monday, which degenerated into chaos at some point.
New patients are turned away each day, while those on admission with traceable family members have been discharged. That's the situation at Pantang Hospital, as health workers refuse to show up for work in protest of what they call unsafe conditions of service. The workers have since 2013 demanded government evict encroachers who have erected makeshift structures on the hospital's property, but attempts to get the government to heed their call have fallen on deaf ears. This time, the workers are resolute. They will only return to work if government ensures at least 80% completion of the construction of the fence wall around the property. In a desperate attempt to get staff to honor the MOU signed last Friday, Deputy Employment and Labour Minister Bright Riku began fresh negotiations with union members on the hospital premises. The meeting was, however, interrupted by some unidentified men who infiltrated the meeting. Staff allege some of them were land guards who have sold parts of the Pantang Hospital lands to private developers. In a matter of minutes, 4 police pickups arrived to whisk away one of the men who was still lurking around when the officers arrived. An easy calm was then restored as they continued negotiations. After hours of deliberation, the Deputy Employment and Labour Minister announced they agreed to return to post.
The Ministry of Health has assured the contractor has been asked to go back to site. So as we speak now, the contractor is going in, and within 8 months to go and complete the fence wall. That is the first thing, to secure the lands. And then later, the Municipal Assembly has also assured that they will go after those who don't have permits and ensure that they will do demolitions. The other matter is to do with security. And the National Security Minister has also fully affirmed that together with the Interior Minister, they are going to ensure that police personnel are posted to the police post which we have here, and also round the clock beef up security on the premises. So these are immediately what we have put in place to ensure safety at Pantang Hospital. Yes, they are willing to come back. They have conditionalized it that we also need to ensure
beefed up security, which we are doing. So it's a win-win situation for now. We are still calling on them to go back to work while we provide adequate security for their safety.
However, union leaders admitting they acted on the blind side of members signing the MOU during initial negotiations say they stand by their members' decision to stay off post until government heeds their call. PANTANG local rep of the Ghana Medical Association, Dr. Alex Ansanwusu, speaks for the group.
Today, the union leaders didn't want to talk. The members spoke for themselves, that they don't agree and are not coming back to work because the work environment is still not safe. In the MOU, if it's anything to go by, it was stated clearly that with immediate effect, that is starting from Friday, 2nd of July, we are going to have police presence. The police post was going to be functional. When you were coming in, you saw for yourself that the place was empty and there were no policemen in the police post. As we speak now, there are no policemen in the police post. So even if the MOU is anything to go by, the ministry hadn't kept their end of the bargain.
We're taking a break here on JoyNews Prime. We're bringing you business news. Next, stay tuned in.
And insurance companies are being urged to break down the technical wordings of insurance policies in order to woo customers. According to the Deputy Minister of Education, John Ntimfojo, one of the factors contributing to low insurance coverage in Ghana is the use of complex policy wordings by insurers. He spoke at the Chartered Institute of Ghana's President's Cocktail to honor some heroes, including the former Commissioner of Insurance, Lydia Lariba Bawa. There's more in this report.
Latest figures from the National Insurance Commission, NIC, reveals that the number of Ghanaians who have one form of insurance cover or the other still constitutes 30%, a situation blamed on poor marketing strategy by insurers. Speaking at the Chartered Insurance Institute of Ghana President's Cocktail, Deputy Education Minister John Ntimfojo indicated that Ghana's insurance sector has huge potential for growth.
There is huge opportunity for expansion, as we said, with about 30% of households in Ghana that have been insured, just life and general insurance. There is so much that we can do to expand the industry. Let's improve the communication, the marketing communication strategy of the industry. Considering the fact that the industry is very technical, we need to be able to break down the language of insurance to the very minimum, to the lowest level that everyone will understand, and to be able to see the essence of insuring.
Mr. Fojo also pledged the Education Ministry's commitment to providing the CIIG a charter status.
It is the desire of my minister to ensure that, recognizing the role of this institution and the tenets of professionalism, of integrity, and of excellence, we must bring back to the table the pursuit of the charter. As a matter of fact, my minister is personally interested in providing every support that is needed to ensure that we attain the charter status.
President of the CIIG, Tewia Ben Ahmed, in an interview highlighted the significance of the charter status.
CIIG is set out to improve professional insurance practice and to be of the highest standards anywhere in the world. And a professional body has members, and the members are expected to abide by a certain code of ethics and certain professional standards. So when you have the law backing that professional body, then that professional body can exact from its members the professional standards they are expected to practice with in their profession.
Well, let's now bring you a summary of international business news. And that'll be all for business. Do stay.
Bulletin this evening, I'm Israelite. Thank you very much for watching. We have our Hotline documentary coming up next. Do stay tuned in.